Hi, Anthony and Tara. Thank you for meeting with me again. Today we'll be going more into details about your pension. So let's get started. Um, Tara, in general, you have a defined benefit plan, which is calculated by the formula final average salary, which is the average of the three highest salaries, times 2% times years of service. Anthony, you have a money purchase plan and a profit share plan. They're both um, through the Benson's Animal Care Center, and they have a combined balance of $1,350,000. Now let's go into Terra's benefit more into details. This is how you will calculate it. So let's assume we know Terra wants to retire at age 65. Your annual salary will increase by 4% every year, and your years of service will be 30 because you work for 15 years, and you will be working for 15 more years. So you know I'm gonna plug this number in a calculator using 15 as my years, 4% as my interest on the year, and my present value it will be 50,000, which is the salary you earn right now. I'm gonna solve for future value for however, this is the general. We need to go into the last 3 years because it will be the three highest salary. So after calculating the numbers, the average, the final average salary is $86,628. So your benefit will be calculated by plugging in all these numbers in the formula, and it will be $51,977. Um, what is Tara? What is your employer's contribution? Okay, assume that your employer could earn your employer can earn 66% until retirement and 4% through retirement. Your life expectancy after retirement is 30 years. So first, we're gonna have to calculate how much money that your employer is gonna need by the time you retire to provide your pension the um, throughout your retirement. So the payment will be your final average salary. No, sorry, your benefit. The number zero is your life expectancy, which is 30. The interest, as told you, is 4%, and the present value it will be $898,770. Or now let's calculate how much will be the contribution that your employee has to make right now to provide you to have that kind of money by the time retirement comes. Um, so future value will be um, the amount of money he's gonna need. Obviously, the number of years will be number of years of service remaining, 15. The interest is 6%, and the payment is $38,613, which is the contribution that your employers must make annually until your retirement. Now let's explain what is there's another type of defined benefit plan that can be more interesting for our employer, which is cash balance plans. And let me explain you why. So a defined benefit plan, which is the one you have right now, is defined as the definition is employer sponsored qualified retirement plan that guarantees a specified benefit level, which is a monthly pension amount, at the employee participants date of retirement. On the other hand, a cash balance plan is a plan in which participants receive a set percentage of their yearly compensation plus interest charges. In other words, the employer doesn't have too much of the employee unless the investment is having poor performance. This is why the employer bear the risk of poor investment, and it will be cheaper for the employer. Let me explain you why. So, this is an example of a cash balance plan. Let's assume the name of this employee is John. John initial contribution is a percentage amount of his salary, which comes down to $7,600. Now, his employer invests that for him, and these will be the returns on investment. Now, the promised return of the cash balance pension plan that the employer offer is 6%. So basically, each year, unless when the return is less than 6, for example, the second year is negative 4.91%. that year the employer is gonna have to match with contribution for the employee to reach the amount promised, which is 6%. This is this would be way cheaper for the employer, because in the hypothetical situation that the performance is never poor, the employer will never have to contribute to the plan. Now, lastly, let's look at you guys' pension plan. So Tara, as I told you throughout this whole meeting, you have a defined benefit plan, while Anthony's has a defined contribution plan. The difference is that you end up having a defined benefit at the end of your, by you know, as a pension, as a retirement, through retirement, while the only thing that's certain with Anthony's plans is that the contribution is made, is defined, not the benefit. Okay, for example, let's start from the money purchase pension plan. It's defined as the definition is defined contribution plan in which an employer makes annual mandatory contributions to each employee's the individual account. So basically, the amount or final of the final benefit is not guaranteed or promised. The only thing promised is the contribution, and is going to be done each year. It cannot be. It cannot. There's a very less flex. It's not very flexible in contribution. So, for example, a young employer will receive the same contribution as an older employer. So it's not very. It's not very. Well, there's some other defined contribution plan that allows, with the older age and the higher number of years of service, you receive a higher contribution. But this is not the case. So basically, the worker cannot contribute to a straight money purchase pension plan, but the contribution must come from the firm. Then, Anthony, you also have a profit sharing plan, which is a qualified defined contribution plan, featuring a flexible discretionary employer contribution provision. So, as it says, the employer contribution is discretionary. If they want, they can even contribute when there are zero profit. However, as I said, as in the definition states, is a qualified defined contribution plan. So there has to be a non-discretionary contribution. How is that how they're able to have this flexible discretionary employer contribution? They respect Treasury regulations, which states that there has to be on a substantial and recurring basis in contribution, which is usually 3 of every 5 years. The very cool part about this profit sharing plan is that there's an in service distribution. Basically, there's the allowing the worker or the employer to have access to their account prior retirement, which is it gives more flexibility than a money purchase pension plan. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for meeting with me. I'm very looking forward for the next meeting we're gonna have, and I hope you guys gonna have a great day.